If you're like me, you've been probably wanting to eviscerate villages in this kids game called Minecraft for a very long time now, and I made this possible. I don't exactly know if I'd call this evisceration yet, but yeah, here you go. Oh, sorry. It works on horses as well, works on every mob. You basically just need to hit mobs now and they will start to bleed. So let's get into the commands. It's really simple. So first of all, I want you to create two scoreboards. First of all, the scoreboard bleed, which actually will be responsible for the actual bleeding and for the effect wearing off later. And the effect bleed tick, which will cause mobs to take damage respectively from their bleeding status. In case you didn't know, just type those two commands into the chat and you should be good to go. Alright, now you want to build a basic heat detection system. Essentially how this method works is you equip broken leather helmets to mobs, as long as they are not in possession of a tech called hit D for hit detect in this case. And you just want to apply this first effect once, alright? You just want to equip the broken armor once and then immediately apply the tech hit detect so that this won't be triggered again. Okay, so now moving on, once mob has the tech hit detect but does not have a leather helmet, because once it's the mob is hit, the leather helmet automatically breaks. Yeah, this effect is triggered and you could put anything else into this section, but in this case we are applying scoreboard, which is bleed, which again will be responsible for the actual bleeding later on. And then you, well, who would have thought, just equip the helmet again. Subscribe to this channel and maybe write a comment in case you want to see me build a few blood-based abilities based around this system or a revised version of it. Okay, great. Now that those few steps are taken, we can move on to the next part, which is the actual bleeding itself. Okay, this command here will cause every mob that has at least one bleed to lose one bleed a tick, which translates to 20 bleed a second. So yeah, if you want to increase the bleed duration, just increase this number here accordingly. So 60 by 20 is 3, so that's 3 seconds. If you want to make it 5 seconds, you would put 100 in there. So that's 100, well, 100 values of bleed added. Okay, so for the next part, you want to apply this bleed tick, alright? So as long as mobs are bleeding, they get one bleed tick a tick. I know this name is super creative. Once the bleed tick stacks have reached 20, the mob is damaged by 3, and you should use this override effect or any other effect basically that doesn't penetrate armor. So simply because otherwise this would stack forever, since new bleed stacks would be added because the armor is breaking. But I think you see where I'm coming from. And then in the end, you want to reset the bleed tick score. Okay, and yeah, if this wasn't obvious, you can also change this number 3 to anything you want. So if you feel like that's a bit too much, especially with longer bleed durations, just set it to 1, 2, something. Okay, now as for the actual particle effects, as long as mobs have at least one bleed, they will run this command that causes them to create or to display this redstone orders particle 0.2 blocks above the position their feet are at, essentially. And well, this is also this little slowness effect. I don't know, might be sort of obsolete, but I thought it to be fitting. And again, this also applies just if the mob is bleeding. If you want to calm down a bit after all this carnage, watch this video linked on the screen right now, in which I revised the entire fishing system in Minecraft.